Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first episode on Corner Flag for La Liga 2025-26.
Hello.
We have Nafiz with me to represent Barcelona, and I'm Fuad to represent Real Madrid. So let's start the El Clasico. How are you doing, Nafiz?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. How are you doing, mate?
Fantastic. Can't complain. We are just after third week of the La Liga, and we are on top of the table. So can't complain. Barcelona had a slip, and
Are you
totally good
gonna
Madrid as well.
are you gonna quote your favorite quote? Can't hear you from the top here again.
I've been sharing this quote to all my Barca friends. So no, yeah,
Yeah,
this is nice to have 3 points, 9 points in 3 matches, and nice, yeah. So we have two-point list to Barcelona. So let's see what happens.
no. I totally agree. Actually, to be very honest, like over
Mhm,
the past 3 weeks, I have seen both the games, like from
mhm.
Barca and Real Madrid. Actually, like in La Liga, there are like no more games that is like watch worthy. So, like here in the USA, I think the matches start around 2:30.
Mhm,
Like in the afternoon, and during the afternoon like the EPL matches are over, so I always try to like look for Barca Real game if they're available. So
exactly.
yeah, as obviously there is like good reasons for you or the Real Madrid fans to be happy, and I totally
Mhm,
what should I say, like I respect that, because I think the way Real Madrid has played the 3 games,
mhm,
it was really appreciative of like the style they're adapting with their new
mhm,
coach.
mhm,
And I think with each game, I have seen Real Madrid improve at least a little bit, like over time,
mhm,
which I haven't seen with Barcelona. So I'm actually very disappointed with the way Barca started
mhm,
the season. Because obviously, like with 3 games on, yeah, there are like a lot of other problems. I will come to
mhm,
that, like whatever I have seen on the matches, like what
mhm.
I thought would be problems for Barcelona. But the way Barca have played, I think it's very distinctively at a lower level than whatever they have played over the
Mhm,
last season, at least in
mhm.
La Liga.
Yeah, I think last season Barcelona had a wonderful season, and I think that's why probably the expectation is too high, and that's why probably it's not up to the mark, and you are not that much satisfied because definitely you have a wonderful squad in Barcelona. But for Real Madrid, as you said, we had a terrible season last year, and this season we have a new coach, and we were all anxious to see, okay, what we are going to do
Mhm.
with the new coach, what type of, there will be tactical or strategical changes, or the new ideas will be coming this year with some new signings, how they will do. So all these questions, all this anxiety as Madridista we had, and then we kind of have a bare minimum expectations. So that's why probably it's a little bit like, okay, it's a shy of relief, and we were feeling like, okay, 9 points from 3 matches, that's a very good start. And definitely the expectation was like building up with the games. We definitely expect it to be much better. We'll be dominating much more. We'll play more fluidly. We will have more
Mhm.
attack, more scores, more domination, all these things. But still, we are keeping it low. So a little bit satisfaction from that perspective.
Yeah, I think with the addition of new players, at
Uh-huh.
least 2 of the players, I think I really like who Real Madrid has picked. One is,
Mm-hmm.
I think, worth mentioning is Huijsen, the center back they have got from Bournemouth. I think he is an exceptional talent, not only for Real
Mm-hmm.
Madrid, but times to come. I think he is going to be, if he can continue like this, I think he will be regarded as one of the most prolific center backs we have seen,
Mm-hmm.
at least for this era, like that is coming on. And
Exactly.
also the fullbacks, Carreras, right? They got
Carreras,
from
yeah.
Benfica. He is
Mm-hmm.
also good. I think
Fantastic, yes.
he's, what should I say, like his playing style, it's very energetic. The way he
Mm.
like keeps running the line from top to
Mhm,
bottom, that really impressed me. And yeah, I was a little bit sad because usually like during the transfer season, at least for
mhm.
this transfer season, I thought Barca would be able to get at least a CB.
Mm.
And unfortunately, due to the situation Barca is in, we had to let Inigo Martinez go, who was like, I
Exactly.
think, the rock of our back or like rock of our defense. So it's really painful, to be very honest. I'm a Barca fan to see Real Madrid players play good, but credit is due, and I have to give credit to like the players that Real Madrid has chosen,
Mhm.
and also like the coach, how he has managed to, I think, gel the new players at a very early time within this short time frame.
Yeah, I mean, for the transfer window or in terms of buying players, last few season or at least in last season, we are very much were occupied with the Mbappe saga, right? And what happened is we kind of forgot, or you can say all other weaknesses or gaps in the squad, all those were overshadowed by that particular one signings that was for long anticipated, and we definitely finally had Mbappe. And what happened is we had last season a very core young groups. They have achieved a lot, but there are significant issues in backline, in midfield. Was surprisingly, I would say, Carlo Ancelotti didn't find any solution. Particularly, I would say every position, but particularly first I always start with in the defense, and
Mhm,
and we kind of lost the La Liga or Champions League. Everything you can say we lost because our defense line was not only injury prone, but was very much, I would say, off form in terms of, like, for example, Rudiger. He had a terrible season last year. I can name few matches where he solely cost us the game. So we all wanted to have a very good reinforcement. We were looking at, Fernando Mendy, Fran Garcia, in the left side who weren't covering. I wouldn't say they were not covering. I would say for them, the Vinicius, I think we couldn't fully utilize Vinicius' potential. The way Marcelo and Cristiano Ronaldo was occupying our left hand, having, 1-2 overlap.
mhm.
Marcelo was very attacking. So after that, we were missing those things. I don't know in the whole season last year how many times Fernando Mendy crossed the ball in the box. He didn't have much forward play in that sense. So there was we wanted reinforcement there. We wanted reinforcement in the center back. Then Chouameni wasn't playing very good. We were struggling for DM position because Cruz left and we didn't have it. Still now we don't have any actual replacement for him. Now Modric also left. So all these positions we needed some reinforcement. Real Madrid really reflected on that and I would say responded very well. The management, but we have some last few seasons have been cautious in acquiring players. They're over the board, hype and price we don't want to pay. Our business strategy and the model changed significantly since COVID, I would say. So Real Madrid was like very cautious as finding perfect fit, keep the balance correct, and since we already knew that the coach will be changed and Javi is coming, so definitely there is a kind of who will fit in Xavi's system. That was another thing. So in overall sense, yeah, I would say the transfer market was this season was very interesting for us. We got Frank Masantuono. Yeah, yeah. We have high hope. At least I have high hope for him as well. So yeah, I'll discuss all this position, how everything is fitting. So tell me about something, Barcelona. Like, what type of since you are talking about Inigo Martinez, do you really feel like in first three matches, Barcelona struggled in defense somehow, or missing his presence, or
Yeah,
you
I
think no work
yeah.
since
Yeah.
the transfer
I
window
I
already is? Yeah.
think, as I also brought it up and you also brought it up, so it's good to like discuss about that because
Mhm,
you see, like, if you look at last season, at least
mhm,
like when Flick started at Barcelona, I think the way Barca started playing was we are not gonna be a team who is like defensively very solid.
mhm,
What we are gonna do is like we are gonna score more than
mhm,
I think, although like it may like again anger you because you're a Real Madrid fan, but Lamine Yamal, I think in one of his press conference, he already told
mhm,
like this, like if they score three, we are gonna score four. If they score four,
mhm,
we are gonna score five. So that was
mhm,
like the way Barca was playing. So although it doesn't matter if you are thinking like that, okay, we are gonna score more.
mhm.
But actually, when it matters in those matches when you are not able to score. Because it's not gonna be like in every game you can score like five or four goals. It's
Exactly.
impossible because the way La Liga teams plays, at least like those bottom feeder teams, they like park the bus. They have like 11 defenders just
Mhm,
sitting on the D box and not do not have like any intention to go up from
Mhm.
their defensive position or let go of their defensive holes. So it's
Mhm.
impossible. In those circumstances, actually, the defense come into play. Like
Mhm.
when Flick came in, and we Barca fan, like we always like to brag about like our famous offside trap situation. I think
Mhm.
Barca was the team who had, I think, at least 1.5 times more goals disallowed against them with the offside traps than the team
Mhm.
who were like the second in that
Second
statistic.
example.
So it was implemented very well. And Inigo Martinez, I think he was like the core leader who was able to hold that line.
Okay.
Because even I think Kubarsi, he's a very young guy. I think he's in
Mhm.
his 20s. So he also told in a recent press conference, like, I can feel that Inigo is not at the back. Araujo, I'm not saying like he's a very bad defender because he has
Mhm.
like his moments and he
Mhm.
plays really well for Uruguay. But I
Exactly.
think Araujo hasn't been able to grasp that offside trap strategy that Flick wants to implement. And he is not that much proactive like Inigo Martinez. I don't know how Inigo grasped that because he's like an old guy, but somehow,
Mhm.
sometimes it falls into
Mhm.
places and it fell into places with him in the team. So I think
Exactly.
in that aspect, Barca has lost, I think, a very good player.
Uh,
And I think the reason beyond why we couldn't get another CB, I think you all know, because of those strict
uh-huh.
La Liga FFP rules with our registration issues that's been going on
Uh-huh.
with like new camp being built, and also like getting permissions for new camps has become also another nuisance for Barcelona board. So with all these things, I think this transfer window hasn't been that much effective for us.
Mm.
Because what I was thinking, like before even like when the transfer window was just starting, I
Uh-huh.
think we got one player called Rooney Bargi.
Uh-huh.
He is a winger who can play in place of Lamine Yamal. He's also very young
Uh-huh.
and he's good. So there is a good chance like he will flourish in Barcelona because I think in the preseason matches when he started, I saw like his playing style actually goes with that. And then
Awesome. Mhm.
that Nico Williams saga. We are going from Nico
Mhm.
Williams, and again, we couldn't like guarantee like whether he's gonna play or not, because
Mhm.
Nico Williams. I think like everyone saw what happened with Dani Olmo and the other player Pau Victor in the last season with the
Uh-huh.
registration issues and that kind of situation. So I think somehow we missed on that, and then even so, I think it's a blessing in disguise. Although I'm not happy that we couldn't get Nico Williams, but then again, seeing the situations right now, maybe if we got Nico Williams, it might like put us in a difficult spot to register. Maybe we could have registered Nico, but there might be other players who would have missed
Mhm.
registration. So with this kind of situations, like the way Barca board has handled, I think they had nothing else to do in that situation. To be very honest, I am really frustrated about the FFP rules that's been in place for La Liga. I was discussing with you, like you see, like in EPL, what happens is like it's not so immediate or it's not
Uh-huh.
implemented so immediately. Like it's not okay.
Uh-huh.
You earn one, you are able to spend one. It's not like that in Premier League, and that's why we see like in Premier League, I think this this season there are like flourishing amount of money. Garnacho, even he is like going
Uh,
away for more than 60 million. Nicholas Jackson, he got a deal from Bayern with 15
uh-huh.
million in loan, and then
Exactly.
Chelsea came up with the offer for Barca's Fermin Lopez, who is like one of the most prolific young midfielder that Barca has produced, with the offer of 40 million. And there is a strong rumor that it might happen. You see, and at one point, I think even Barca board was tempted to accept
Uh-huh.
that deal. Even it was like pretty lowballing
Uh-huh.
offer. Because like it's very hard to book balance when there are so much stricter rules. Like I'm not
Mm.
saying like it shouldn't be in place, but maybe
Uh-huh.
there should be some leeways for
Mhm.
like the teams to spend in a way so that they can facilitate. Like you see, like registering a player and then deregistering it at the middle of the season because we couldn't
Uh-huh.
book our balance. So it doesn't look good overall for like the
Uh-huh.
registration scenarios. And I think if you look at the Mallorca team, actually Inti, he's not here right now, but
Uh-huh.
he always talks. And he was asking me, so what
Uh-huh.
happened with the Mallorca team? Marco
Uh-huh.
is playing with the same players. You see, Morici,
Uh-huh.
then there was Samu Costa, then there was, what is the defender's name? I forgot. So they have like the
Mhm.
same team over and over, and we are seeing them every
The
time.
captain, right?
Levante, exactly. Then Levante, they also had a problem. Like before the Barca game, I was thinking like 2 days before the Barca game, I think Levante was able to like register their players. But up until then, they had only 3 players registered with the La Liga system. So it's very
Mhm.
strict. And I think also, I'm not denying the fact that the previous board had made Barca like, what should I say,
Mhm.
like a has put Barca in a financial pit hole. We had like
Mhm.
more than $600 million of wage bills that we need to balance. So with everything been going on, I am
Mhm.
disappointed with the transfer season, but at least happy that Barca has been able to register at least whomever they got. And
Mhm.
in that note, I think I'm taking a lot of time, but in that note, I
That's
think I
okay.
will finish. One of the most prolific signing that I have seen from Barcelona in recent time is Joan
Mhm.
Garcia's signing. We needed a keeper for a long time. Ter
Mm.
Stegen, I don't know why he was so adamant
I
to
think he
leave.
played superb in last game, right?
Exactly,
Against
exactly.
Rayo
Like if
Vallecano.
if if he was not there, that
Mhm.
match we didn't deserve to come out with a draw. So that's
I
like my
think,
take.
yeah, in that point, I think, when we started this discussion with the offset trap, I think yesterday against Vallecano, Barcelona kind of leaked couple of time, felt like, there is a way to exploit this high defense line. I don't
Exactly.
know. Is it because maybe Martinez is not there? I don't know. But I was feeling like yesterday there was like 1v1 two or three times, and probably the keeper was like keeping Barcelona in the game. But yeah, that's in the follow up with that discussion. Maybe Barcelona could, I don't know. Maybe Barcelona can have some difficulty maintaining, because I believe that in the last episode we were discussing about three back line. Similarly, I think high line maintaining defense strategy, that if someone can exploit it, it could expose Barcelona like hell. But till now, Barcelona did very good. Now Inigo Martinez is not there, so we have to see if the same strategy or this type of tactical plan can work or not
Yeah.
for Flick.
Like in
But
the
for if
first 3 matches, I think it hasn't gone the way Flick has planned or like the Barca fan has anticipated. I can surely say that. Like if
that's
I wanna
then alarming, right?
exactly. That's really alarming. Yep.
We were discussing about FFP rules, right? I think if you look at the financial powers of Barcelona, Real Madrid, or even Atletico Madrid compared to other La Liga teams, I think there's a huge gap or disparity between these top three to other teams. And that's probably one of the reason FFA rules are too strict, because they don't want to have, Barcelona, Real Madrid, since they have like huge revenues and better financial power, is like I would say, to build their teams compared to others, and there will be no competition whatsoever. But having said that, I would like to say that it's also kind of a like failure from La Liga, because in terms of worldwide appeal, in terms of, I think you are interested to talk about refereeing and all other things. Like yesterday we saw Rayo Vallecano versus Barcelona. They didn't have technology for VAR, and this type of thing actually doesn't feel good for La Liga supporters, and definitely doesn't have the global appeal like EPL. That's one of the reasons that La Liga teams are not earning well as well, and it's kind of a failure from La Liga as well. But overall, this is a kind of a vicious circle, right? Overall,
Exactly.
it's like the leagues as a whole are not attracting lots of viewership, money, sponsorships, and the teams are also very poor. Now there is a kind of limitations on Barcelona, Real Madrid, but they are competing in UCL. They are competing in the global standard. So that's become kind of a tug war between, like, Barcelona, Real Madrid definitely wants to have a squad that can compete in UCL and get UCL every year, and they have the capability to do that, at least financially. And then La Liga can't allow maybe. So I think these strict rules are because there's a huge gap in EPL. Even maybe top 10 teams have very good financial power. The bottom 10 maybe still have some good. They have the capability to attract good viewership at least. So overall, EPL is flourishing in that sense. More money coming, more better teams, better
Exactly. Even
competition, and
even
this is going on like that.
if you see like when is the last time you can say like
Mhm.
Barcelona or Real Madrid, even I think Atletico Madrid do it to some extent, but even so,
Mhm,
they don't go for like huge flourishing money or like
mhm,
buying players with huge amount. But even so, the point I'm
mhm,
coming to see, when was the last
mhm,
time we see, okay, maybe Real Madrid or Barcelona has picked up a player, say from Levante, who is
mhm,
like very good with like 30 million or 40 million
mhm,
pounds to come in.
mhm,
We haven't seen that. So you see, like in today's deadline, I think you've already seen like the Isak saga we have seen,
mhm,
the
mhm,
situation with Wisa we have seen. These are like teams of EPL. They are like in a what should I say, like tug of war situations between themselves over like
mhm,
prices, over finding replacement of players. Like
mhm,
Newcastle was adamant not to let Isak go up until they found someone. Then like even Mark Gehi, he couldn't like make the
mhm,
transfer happen because Christopher's couldn't find a defender in time. But
mhm,
we haven't seen even that. So you see, like every time Real Madrid is bringing someone, they are like from outside La Liga. Every
mhm,
time Barcelona is bringing someone outside La Liga, Atletico Madrid is bringing someone outside La Liga. Yeah, within Barcelona, Athletic Madrid, there is like some exchanges of players, Griezmann, and
mhm.
then I think Suarez went out of Barcelona to Atletico Madrid. But there are like very few examples. So even like within
Exactly.
themselves, they're also not able to do business because of these
No.
stricter rules. Like I totally agree with your point. Yeah, it's because they need to like let the smaller teams survive. But even so, the smaller teams, they are not able to sell their players. So they are not
No.
able to generate revenues. So they are not able to brought up or bring up new talents who would be an attraction for the bigger teams, even
Exactly.
also in La Liga, right? So as you said, like it's a vicious cycle, and I don't know like if they have any plan to like resolve it, but I am really disappointed. And also like with the VAR
Mhm,
situation you have brought up, yeah, I know Barca got the penalty. That's a controversial call. I'm not going to
mhm,
the discussions like whether it was a penalty or not, but
mhm.
why shouldn't VAR be there? And
Far be
even the
there,
pitch
yes.
condition, I know many
Mhm,
people are saying, yeah, maybe the brown patch was due to like there was overcutting of grass, but it was not because there are like overcutting of grass. Like, why
mhm.
would a La Liga team have had a pitch like that that will be approved for a for an official match? I was
Exactly.
really
Mhm,
surprised. Even like whenever we play within ourselves here in pickup
mhm,
soccer, we have better fields. You know, at
mhm,
least we have grasses. At least we have level playing field. So
mm.
these are really frustrating to see. I think,
I
like
think
as a La Liga
overall,
viewer.
overall economy, economy wise, Spain is struggling since like 10, 15, 12 years or maybe 15 years now. So I know there are lots of financial issues. It's not just for the teams, but for overall the economical, social aspects of the life. I think there, if you look at Italian league, Serie and La Liga, Serie once upon a time was like the top league. Lots of money was there, maybe mostly because of the bookie, the betting, the mafias and everything. But still, they had.
Money
Nowadays,
was there.
money was there, exactly. And then I think last 20, 25 years since the early, 2000, I think EPL got all the traffic moving into EPL, and the monies are going there as well. So there is this broader aspects of, financial aspects is there as well, that probably we don't know the full depth of it. But I think that's another reason Spanish league, other teams are not doing really well, but definitely they need to find a way to at least, like some teams, they can have at least a good academy, or they can scout good players, like buying 10, 15 million player and then selling them 35, 50, 40 mid-rank. You don't have to make Mbappe
Exactly.
or Neymar, but you can earn like this, and slowly in 10 years project, you can make a good team maybe. This type of I mean, plan I don't see for teams in La Liga. That's frustrating. I really love to see the way they play in La Liga in Spain. I support Real Madrid, so definitely want to see La Liga more competitive, more interesting games. But yeah, there's these issues. I don't know where the solution is, but these are very good discussion.
I think like let's I think end the discussion on this topic because I
Yeah.
think as a fan, what should I say? Like the bottom line is like we are frustrated, but
Mm-hmm.
then again, we are not gonna give them solutions. They have to come up with it because
Mm-hmm.
like just relying on Real Madrid's UCL success or Barcelona Real Madrid rivalry, I don't
Mm,
think like it's a sustainable approach as a whole for the league.
no,
Hope it
definitely
changes.
not.
Hope it changes.
Hope it
Hope it
changes. Yeah.
changes. Anyways, Fuad bhai, let's discuss about like the games that we have seen so far.
Hmm.
So I think you already said like you are very happy with the signings, and I also told like it's very promising for Real Madrid. So in a nutshell, what are like the good things you have seen, and what are like the weak links that you would like for Real Madrid to change in the upcoming game weeks? If you want to discuss a little bit on that.
Sure, sure. Yeah, I think, first I would like to talk about Xabi Alonso, our new coach. I felt I'm super excited to see him implementing his ideas. Definitely it's a fresh start, fresh everything for us this season after Carlo, with due respect to Carlo. But what I felt most is that he kind of tried every pre-match and post-match analysis, he kind of tried to convey one message, and that's very important. That is that everyone has to prove and earn their position. If you are not given any, first, like Carlo has had always a kind of a set rule of 11 players. He always tried to put the best name, not the best informed player or like that. He got lots of success, no doubt about it. But sometimes when things are not working, he was reluctant. Even when we have, five substitute, Carlo oftentimes didn't utilize all five substitute. And that's really crazy for me. So Xabi Alonso definitely from the very beginning introduced this idea that no, it doesn't matter who you are, you have to earn. And when I was looking at this, pre-match press conference or post-match, I was thinking, okay, he's just talking. Maybe let's see if he's really going to implement. And that happened. I'm seeing
Yeah, I
Vinicius
think
being subbed
Vinicius was
off.
benched, right? Yeah.
For a second match, Rodrigo
Mhm,
came as a first
mhm.
11. Vinicius was benched, but then Vinicius came on. In the third match, Vinicius subbed at like 60, 70 minutes. So it's giving you this, no one is untouchable. You have to prove yourself. This is fantastic. I really like to see that these guys are pushed to, perform and prove themselves. Nothing is given. That concept, that competition should be there as a healthy competition. That's one. And rest of the thing is a tactical, everything. I'm not going into detail, but that's a particular one thing I want to mention about coach. For other things, for example, we already discussed a little bit of CB. I think Dean is the best signing so far. I as a Madrid fan, I wanted to see the Real Madrid building a game from the back, have a CB who can pass, who can do
Progress with the
a lot
ball,
of
right?
things. Yes, which was missing for us. One of the reason is that I think Courtois is one of the top goalkeeper who is very poor at ball distribution. So that's kind of taken care of by Dean. He's doing fantastic. I think with Militao, Dean and Militao would be the first choice. CB for left and right, I think Carreras is doing very good, but the link up with Vinicius overlap and all this needs to be a little bit more. I think Carreras is definitely showing much more promising build up than Farland Mendy and Fran Garcia, but the build up, I would say the connection between Vinicius and Carreras needs some time to
Okay.
fully utilized. Other than he's superb. In the right side, Trent, I'm very cautious about that signing. One of the reasons is that I never thought Trent's game or playing style suits Real Madrid. One thing is he's British, but English player. But other thing is in EPL, he is known to have a defensive, weakness. And in La Liga, I think players a little bit more 1v1 position, a little bit more better than EPL. And definitely, at least, I definitely don't care all the teams in La Liga. But let's say against Barcelona
Barcelona.
or at least Atletico or maybe Celta Vigo or these type of teams, right? I don't know how much effective he will be. Last match, the third match against, I think, against Mallorca,
Mallorca.
he did a goal line defense, but that's all. He had some very fantastic cross delivered in the box in attack. He's gaining this that is very good. Mbappe was offside in two of the occasions, but in the offense, I think TA is okay. But in defense, I saw many times he struggled to get back or even tried.
Yeah.
Felt like
I
he's.
think like when he played on Liverpool, he had like the
Mhm,
similar problem as you mentioned. Like there is no doubt about his like attacking prowess or his attacking a sense of
mhm.
what should I say, like the game, like distributing ball, giving
Yeah. Yeah. He liked to,
wonderful crosses.
convert, cut
Exactly,
back.
exactly,
He's doing long
exactly.
balls,
But
crossing, all are good.
the question always relied on his
Mhm,
defensive abilities, and I think
mhm,
one thing Liverpool fans will agree with that because Liverpool had Van Dijk, you know.
mhm,
So
mhm.
maybe to some extent, Tau was always saved by Van Dijk's presence of mind or the presence of the game.
Mm.
So I'm not sure, like if Dean or Militao still had that for Real Madrid or still has developed
No, I think.
that type of balance with Ta. Like if Ta is out,
Mm.
we can like cover it, you know. So I totally agree with your point on this.
No, this will be in different way covered as I'm seeing the plan. So, Chouameni is having fantastic first three matches, at least compared to the last season. So I think the main strategy would be Valverde, who will be covering those gaps. Chouameni being the pivot or the sole DM, or alongside with Fede, and they will be taking care of these gaps. And that's the idea from the first three matches. At least I'm
Mhm.
seeing that Xabi actually acknowledged TA's strengths, this weakness, and that's the great thing about Xabi again. you know not every player is strong in every aspects, and that's completely fine. Some people has offensive strength, some has defensive weaknesses, and this and that. Like Marcelo was always very poor in defense, and we played fantastic with him because we had Cruz, we had Casemiro, and definitely Varane and Ramos both were fantastic, no doubt about it. But this is the thing. Xabi Alonso, at least I think, kind of revitalized Tchouaméni's form and gave this kind of, I don't know who will be taking care of in each, these gaps, but at least I think the way Fede's energy dictates and the way he can cover spaces, I think Fede will be the one taking care of it. And
Okay.
oftentimes I'm seeing he's taking
So
this position.
I
Yes.
think what you meant to say is like what you realize is like
Mhm,
whatever we are seeing or whatever we have seen so far, like from Tas' earlier performance in Liverpool, maybe Xavi
mhm.
Alonso has taken account of that, and maybe he has things on places so that he can cover that. Okay, that's a
That's, yeah.
good thing to point it out. Okay, that it's good. Like you have noticed that. That's really good.
Yeah, so from then, in the forward, in the midfield, we're definitely missing Jude. We don't have
So
Tony Cruz.
when is Jude coming back? I don't know, so that's why
No,
I'm asking you. Do you
no,
have any
I
idea?
don't have any idea exactly when
Okay.
he'll be coming back. A shoulder operation, and I don't know how long it will take. But the point is, Tony Cruz, we couldn't recover his absence last season. This season, we lost Modric as well, and Ceballos is staying. Now we have Brahim, we have Camavinga in the squad. How all these midfields will fit in? It is absolutely clear at this point that Adraguler is given the first choice. At least I'm seeing Xabi Alonso's giving full confidence in Adra. So Adra staying as attacking mid, but he is not physical. I don't think he plays in the same strength or same stamina, same form, full 90 minutes. So there are some things to cover for Adra. I don't know the long plan. For example, if you are in knockout stages, you are going in the extra minutes. Don't see Adres playing there.
Playing
Or
there. Okay.
when you have Copa del Rey, you have La Liga, you have Champions League now, long fixtures. You
Okay,
have
I
eight
understand.
games in.
So
So what
I
will
think
happen?
so. What's
Yeah,
like the plan B? I think
Plan
that's what
B.
worries you for the
Um,
midfield.
so you cannot have, Adra playing all games and Jude waiting. Or you cannot have Jude won't be there next season then. You cannot have Jude playing all the games and Adra waiting because Adra playing
Mhm,
superbly well.
mhm.
So what will be when Jude comes back, what will happen? That's one thing.
Exactly.
DM, if we go with two pivot, that means Chouameni and Fede. Fede has to be there if TA is there. If Trent is not there, if Carvajal is there, maybe we don't need Fede. But then it's become really difficult because Fede is our captain, And no matter what, for me is like he's the most favorite player in this squad.
Exactly. No, even though I'm a Barca fan,
Mhm.
it's very difficult for me to see a Real Madrid match where Fede Valverde is not there because the
Not there.
energy he like, what should I say, like
He connects
with the
the dot.
energy he performs. Exactly. Like it's really interesting to see and it's good to watch like his presence and his bowling
So
power and everything.
he's not like Cruz, but his ball carrying and everything, energy, definitely. All this comes into play. Then you have our front. In the front, I'm seeing Vinicius a little bit better than last season, but he still needs to improve. I think, which I never appreciated, is his attitude. I completely in with him in terms of racism and everything. There is no place.
Times.
It's Neymar had some incidents, showboating and all these, doing rainbow flicks and everything. This type of thing I don't like. Although I'm Brazil fan. Unnecessary, completely unnecessary in professional settings. No need. Currently, I think what Vinicius is hurting is Real Madrid and Real Madrid's fan. Vinicius definitely need to improve in that sense because I don't know how we will protect him from racism. There will be that thing. That's very sad to say. And I'm completely in opposite to that kind of thing. But only what I'm saying is that in reality, all the other players are playing in the same situation. The reaction, the focus for game and to perform and shut people mouth just by performing.
Performing,
You know,
exactly.
when you are saying you will see, I will do 10 times better after losing the Ballon d'Or, you are not doing, and then
Exactly.
it become fun. If you
Exactly.
are doing it, if you are 10 times better, you win it. So, it- you could be either Zlatan Ibrahimovic talking shits and being shit, or you could be, Cristiano Ronaldo talking shit but proving yourself that you are the King Kong.
Exactly.
So that's
Exactly.
different approach to this.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
once you become arrogant and all this, you have to prove it. Otherwise, it will be just shit talks. Anyway, I think Vinicius has lots to bring. He has still lots to give. I don't know. I think the best, I will wait this season. If he is not changing, let's tell him we got a couple of years, good years from him, and that's it. Rodrigo's situation is very difficult. Rodrigo, on the opposite to Vinicius, he's completely different, calm and quiet, more mature, but he's not Vinicius. Vinicius is raw talent, but Rodrigo definitely one step below Vinicius, I think. But if we can utilize Rodrigo better, it's lots on Xabi how he will be utilized. I have no idea till now. The reason is this. Because if you remember last in Mallorca's game, we conceded from corner. Real Madrid is not good at aerial defense. Not been so many years, I would say, since we lost our best CB duo in recent times, Varane and Ramos.
Ramos, yeah.
But Real Madrid also lost the aerial attacking powers. If you look at from this, there was at some point people used to mock us saying cross in the box and inshallah. Like Zinedine Zidane had no
Yeah, like
practice,
those
right?
banners.
Marcelo, Carvajal, and then you have in the box you have one of the best in the world header, Bale and Cristiano. You give 5 crosses, one will be scored, 20% success rate. And now it's maybe not even 0.2% success rate. We don't even cross. We don't even provide any cross in the box because there is no aerial threat. So the aerial threat we only have is through Jude, maybe a little bit with Rudiger. I'm not picking him up just for the heading. So he's not my first pick for CB. So not for aerial attack, I'm not speaking up. But let's say Jude is good. Fede, not very. He's not attacking in that sense. So Rodrigo doesn't bring that. Mbappe doesn't bring that. Vinicius doesn't bring that. None of them has aerial presence.
Understood.
The only person, fit to that requirements is Gonzalo Garcias, the new young prospects we have, right? So I really don't know Rodrigo what he will bring if he is not playing in the left side in place of Vinicius. So there are lots of things to fix in that position. Gonzalo Garcia could be the number 9, taking that, focal point where all the balls going and finding. He is good at taking 1 or 2 CB with him, giving more space to Vini or Mbappe, whoever playing. So Gonzalo Garcia and Mbappe could be a 2 forward solution.
Okay.
one solution, and he could be like 2017 team, like Asensio or Morata coming in at 70,
Okay.
90 minutes, giving one goal. So Gonzalo Garcia could be utilized like this. He's a very fantastic prospect. We don't have any player in that profile, so I really like his inclusion. I hope he will be, because Enrique is like even shorter than me. I don't think he will give us any aerial threat.
And
So
to be very honest, I'm not hopeful about his
Enrique,
career right now. Yep. I know you guys might
mm.
disagree. I know he came up with like a lot of expectations with his previous goal scoring records, stats, and everything. But
his
like
goal scoring record wasn't that impressive.
yeah, but anyways, but like sometimes when it's not gonna happen. I know I'm
Really.
not a Real Madrid fan, but the games I have seen, the way he conducts himself, or the way or the approaches he has, I
Uh,
don't think, and the way, as you have described the team right now, I think
uh,
the Real Madrid team is like very balanced, and
uh,
he's a forward, and also like what's his name, Gonzalo Garcia, right?
Gonzalo
That
Garcia.
guy coming up on the ranks. I don't
No.
know like
Yeah,
what's
I
gonna
agree with
happen
you.
with
I
him.
agree with you.
Yeah.
I am not hopeful with Enrique as well. Lots of Madridistas will disagree with me. But the reason I feel Real Madrid went for Enrique is because of the idea, like Vinicius and Rodrigo, get them as early as possible, because we needed a number 9 after Benzema. So they went there, they grabbed him because he was making lots of noise in the media and the squad. He is talented, no doubt about it, but they got it a little bit too soon, like reactionary manner. I would say I don't think he's fitting there. With Gonzalo Garcia, I have better hope, better prospects. Even with Franco Mastantuono, might be
Mastantuono.
even as long as I saw all the matches for Endrick, I felt like he even doesn't have any idea how 11 people plays. It's not because he's just young, because at this point, 16, 17, we saw 16, 17 prospects, right? We know how they fit in the game. Endrick didn't fit in any combination. I never saw him. He has even get involved in a gameplay in any, sometimes, okay, they're young, but they, one flick, one thing, and you say, okay, he has something. Like Adra. I had similar time last season, but I had full confidence that Adra will be the top.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
and this
Exactly.
season, Shabi already made
Exactly.
him the
He is
top.
already flourishing.
Already flourished.
Like,
The best till now first 3 matches. So
yeah.
that is not there in Endrick. I'm sorry to say, for all Madridistas, I don't see any hope for Endrick in Real Madrid long term.
These are like very good points that you brought up, and I think we have discussed
Let's
a
discuss
lot
about
about.
Barcelona now, man.
Yeah, for Barcelona, that's why like I didn't stop you from discussing, because there are like very few things to discuss.
Mm,
As I said, like up until now, I didn't see any change in tactics from the last season. Although we
okay.
lost Inigo Martinez, but still, I think Flick is trying to go with that offside trap, or like the high line approach that Barca has. And as I said at the very beginning, like the way Barca approaches is like we are going to score more goals than our opponents. And
Mhm,
at least on these 3 matches, that was like missing. In the
mhm,
Rayo Vallecano matches, I know there were like lots of other problems, but
mhm,
the way Dani Olmo and Ferran Torres missed those sitters, that was really disappointing to see. I think Dani Olmo and Ferran Torres also realized that, because just after the match finished, Dani Olmo came out and said that, I'm sorry, I couldn't deliver. So I think they also
mhm,
realized that. And Flick was saying like, my team is not playing at 100%. I know these guys can do better. So
mhm,
I'm really hopeful. Like there's the international break right now. It started. So I think September 13 or 14 then is like the first match. And there is a strong possibility like Camp Nou is going to be opened on September 14th. So we are going back to our root, our home. So maybe that will be a plus for the players as well. So I really hope like whatever we had last season that was working pretty well, we brought that up and we play at that level with all the problems we have. Even so, right now, as I said, Joan Garcia is there in our
mhm,
keeping position. So I think that will help the defense a lot. Maybe we can cover some of the deficiencies that the departure of Inigo Martinez has introduced to the team.
mhm,
And attacking wise, I think Rafinha is also missing a bit here and there. He needs to come up to the level he was playing last season. because otherwise it's gonna be a little bit difficult. Lamine Yamal, I know, like with his flash butting and everything, I'm not saying I like it, but as long as he's performing, I won't mind it. But then again,
Mhm.
as you said with Vinicius, uh, when if he realizes after some time like he's not performing and showboating, I would want that he stop showboating then and start performing and then again
Mhm.
come up with his showboating skills. So that's what
Mhm.
I have for Lamine Yamal. But up until now, I think he was like the player who is still consistent with his form and performance from last season. So I'm really happy to see that. Rashford, he
Mhm.
hasn't yet got into the system or hasn't had that much of an impact. In the
Mhm.
preseason, he was good, but in the first 3 matches, I think whenever he came on, like he hasn't, I think, gotten into the La Liga system yet.
Mhm.
Another worrying thing is like injury of Gavi.
Mhm.
So last season, Gavi was a little bit off, but in this season, in the preseason, as well as like in the first match when he played, Gavi was really good. So I
Mhm.
think we are going to miss his service. And I think his injury is on the same place where he had, so on his leg in the hamstring. So I'm not sure like if he can again come back and perform at the same level that he has shown he can in the past couple of weeks. So that's a worrying concern for me. But then again, Pedri, I'm really impressed with Pedri. Even in the
Mhm.
Rayo Vallecano match, like if you just see Pedri's highlights, I think it will be really interesting to see. Like we are saying, like there were lots of problems with the field. There was here
Mhm.
these and that. But I'm really happy that Pedri is playing for us, and it's really good to see him play at the midfield. The way he controls the midfield, the way he recovers the balls, distributed, it's really enjoyable to see. I hope our front line, they what should I say, like the culture on whatever like Pedri is building and putting them on
Mhm.
when the ball comes to them, the culture on that. Liwa has just come back from his injury, so hope he comes back. So for Barcelona, I think all I have after the 3 game week is hope. Hope that we can play better, we can
Mhm.
go back to the level we are playing. So that's all I can say for Barcelona.
So the Camp Nou is completely finished, right? It's ready to play this season.
No, it's not complete. The way I think it's happening is like it's like the phase 1 opening.
Mhm.
So still now there is like a 5% chance that it might be delayed. But
Mhm.
the what I'm hearing from the press, we are not like journalists, we are not Fab Romano, so we don't have those access. So we rely
Mhm.
on Twitters and also like Facebook
Mhm.
posts and news from here and there. So the way what I've seen is like there is a strong possibility like on September 14th we are going to come back to
Mhm.
Camp Nou to play our first match
Great to hear.
of the reopening. So hopefully it will happen as well. Another hope.
Yeah, one of the best stadium in the world. It would be great to see Barcelona back in Camp Nou, and also we get to play at least one Clásico
Yeah.
in Camp Nou. This is the greatest stadium, one of the greatest stadium. So, Nafis, best of luck.
Yeah, thanks. I think this year's El Clasico will be more competitive than last year's. Like, I'm not
Mm.
putting salt on your wounds. You guys were poor. There's like Real
Yeah.
Madrid played poorly, but the way you have seen them play this couple of weeks or at least this season in the starting, so
Mhm.
it's really promising. So I'm hoping like it will be a good
Mm.
toe-to-toe battle with both team. And you know, like
Yeah.
like as a fan, it's always enjoyable to see like your team win with a good margin. But when the match is toe to toe, it's more enjoyable from both sides, I think. So
Mhm.
I am hoping like it will be a good match between the two teams and it will be
No,
a
I
2-2
think
battle.
El Clasico has a global appeal. It's not just between Real Madrid and Barcelona. I can tell you, I mean, I know all my EPL friends at least see El Clasico.
Everybody
It doesn't
watches El Clasico, right?
El Clasico. It
Even
has a
even if they are not a Barcelona or Real Madrid
no,
fan, right?
no, none of
Exactly.
them needs to be Barcelona Real
Yeah.
Madrid fan. It has this global appeal. And the reason is the history, the squad and everything, the hype between the, world media, people, Madrid seculars, all together, right? For that particular reason, I like to have a very good game because it is also pride for me as a Real Madrid fan to say that, look, when Real Madrid Barcelona play, everybody watches, right? The same
Exactly.
reason I argue with my EPL fan friends when I say, look, I know EPL is shit, but EPL is at least Barcelona, Real Madrid one step above than your team, whatever you support in EPL, something like that. I like to see La Liga is doing better. I like to see El Clasico is doing better, and keeping that hype and interest intact for coming series.
Yeah,
from
exactly.
years to see. So yeah, it's good for everyone. It's fantastic occasion to be hyped, and being fan of one of these team is fantastic. Winning El Clasico is something is dream come true. Yeah.
Exactly.
So hopefully this season something better Real Madrid will give. Let's see.
Let's see what happens, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, I think we have talked enough, taken a lot of
Enough.
time. Thank you all for whomever has like watched this till
Mhm.
now. Hopefully, we'll come back on more discussion on La Liga. I know that we
Definitely.
don't do that much because, as we were saying, like throughout the whole episode, La Liga's appeal only relies on Real Madrid and Barcelona. So it's better to like talk after seeing two, three games and then come back and discuss those points. So Fuad bhai, thank you for joining. Thank you for those inputs.
Thanks,
Really happy
Sanketh.
that we could do this. I know we have been planning for a long time to do episode on La Liga. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Please do like, subscribe us, and also look out for our EPL episodes. Those will be coming every week. Thank you. Bye.